Hi friends, in this video we will be discussing about table based DI or table based data interpretation questions. If you analyze some of the previous year UGC NET paper examinations, most of the questions or almost all the questions from the data interpretation block has been based on table based and some are from pie chart as well. This is the most important part or section of the data interpretation topic. Basically, what is a table? A table is a systematic arrangement of data in vertical columns and also horizontal rows. This process of arranging of data in the rows and columns is what you call as tabulation. This exercise is what you call as tabulation. And as a result of tabulation, it becomes easier for common man to interpret this data. Interpretation from a table is much more easier than interpretation from a paragraph or a comprehension process. That is why we are doing the tabulation exercise. Now, straight away we will jump to the question. There is no much theory to be dealt with in this tabular based questions. Now, this is one of the previous year question that has been asked for your examination. Now, we will read the directions. Study the table given below and answer the questions 1 to 5. The table consists of marks obtained by candidates in different subjects. We have certain candidates Ayush, Aman, Sajal, Rohit, Muskan, Tanvi and Tarun. We have certain number of candidates and there are subjects given as maths, chemistry, physics, geography, history and computer science. These are the marks obtained by these candidates in various subjects. And this marks given in this bracket, that is 150, it is a maximum mark that can be obtained for maths. 130 is the maximum mark that can be obtained for chemistry, 120 is the maximum mark that can be obtained for physics and so on. Now, how do you read this table? Let us take a random value, this value 80. This means that Rohit has scored 80 marks for physics out of the maximum possible value of 120 that could be scored for physics. And you take this random value 40, which means that Tanvi has scored 40 marks for history out of the maximum possible value of 100 marks. That is how you interpret this table. Now, we will move on to the various questions about this table. Now, what is the average marks obtained by Aman for all subjects? From the table given above, we can get the values of Aman of all subjects. You sum up all those values and divide it by the total number of subjects, which is 6, then you get your answer. You have to find the average of marks that has been obtained by Aman. For that, you take his total marks 100 plus 80 plus 80 plus 40 plus 80 plus 70. And you divide this by the number of observations, which is 6. And what is this total value? This will amount to 450 divided by 6. Now, you take it as 45 into 10 divided by 6. We know that 6 into 7 is equal to 42 and 45 divided by 6 is 7.5. 7.5 into 10 is equal to 75. So, this would be the average mark of Aman for all subjects. In this question, what we are asked is what is the approximate percentage of marks obtained by Ayush? We have to find the percentage of marks obtained by Ayush. How do you find that? You find the total marks that has been obtained by Ayush. Then you take that in the numerator. Then you divide it by the total possible marks that Ayush can score in the denominator. Then you multiply it by 100. Then you get this value. So, here you have to find the percentage of marks that has been found by Ayush, the approximate percentage. How do you find that? You take in the numerator percentage for Ayush for all subjects. That is what we are going to find out. Now, how do we calculate this thing? You take his total marks on the numerator, total marks of Ayush, and you divide it by the total possible marks or the maximum marks. Both these data are available in our table. Now, the total marks of Ayush is equal to, this is 90 plus 50 plus 90 plus 60 plus 70 plus 80. This is our numerator, that is the total marks scored by Ayush. Now in the denominator, what you look forward to is the total marks possible across all these subjects. This is 150 plus 130 plus 120 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100, and you have to find out this in percentage terms. So you multiply all this by 100%. Now by summation, you will get the numerator to be 440 and the denominator to be 700, and this is the value that you are expected to calculate. You cut this 0 and 0. What you get over here is 44 divided by 70. So I'll do one thing over here. This 44 by 70, I'll take another value which is the 44 divided by 66. This can be simplified as 4 by 6. This can again be simplified as 2 by 3. What is the value of 2 by 3? The value of 2 by 3 is 0.66, or in percentage terms this turns out to be 66.66%. Now the value of 44 by 66 is 66.66%. Now contrast this value, this is a commonly known value. Contrast this value with 44 divided by 70. Here what happens is the denominator is actually increasing. So when the denominator increases, the value, the actual value reduces, which means our value or the fraction would be less than this result. So if 44 by 60 is 66.66, 44 by 70 will definitely be less than 66.66. Now without doing the calculations or finding the value for this itself, if you look for our options, there is only one option whose value is less than 66.66, that is 62.8. Option A would be our answer. Option A, 62.8 would be our answer. Okay, now next question is, what is the average of marks obtained by all candidates in physics? For that, you have to find the scores that has been obtained by each candidate in physics, then you sum up it and you divide it by the total number of candidates, which is 7, you get the corresponding value. Now you have to find out the average marks of all candidates in physics. How do we calculate this? Average marks in physics. In the numerator, you take the scores of all candidates in physics and you divide it by the total number of observations. The total marks obtained by all the candidates in physics is 90 plus 80 plus 70 plus 80 plus 85 plus 65 plus 50, and this will amount to, and here to divide all this, the numerator by 7, and the numerator will amount to 520, and you will get this thing like 520 divided by 7. Now we know that 7 square is equal to 49. So this must be greater than, this can be written as 52 into 10 divided by 7. Now 7 square is 49. So we will have something like 7, this is greater than something, and 7 and 3 by 7, something less than, greater than 7 but less than 7.5. Now you look for the options with similar answers. Now when you check for the options, you will have a value called as 74.28. Now when you multiply this by 10, what happens is this value will be greater than 70 but less than, 3 by 7 is less than 0.5 or 50%. So our value would be somewhere between 70 and 75%, but very close to 75%. So which is our corresponding value? It's option B, 74.28. And also here I would like to give you the values of the important squares that we would have to by heart, which will be extremely helpful for your further calculations. So the squares values have to be by hearted. We know that 1 square is equal to 1, 2 square is equal to 4, 3 square is equal to 9, 4 square is equal to 16, 5 square is equal to 25, 6 square is equal to 36, 7 square is equal to 49, 8 square is equal to 64, 9 square is equal to 81, 10 square is equal to 100, 11 square is equal to 121, 12 square is equal to 144, 13 square is equal to 169, 14 square is equal to 196, 15 square is equal to 225, 16 square is equal to 256, 17 square is equal to 289, 18 square is equal to 324, 19 square is equal to 361, and 20 square is equal to 400. So you have to by heart all these square values. These are extremely repeated values. Now in this question we have to find who among the following has obtained the maximum or the highest aggregate marks. We have to find the total marks obtained by Ayush, Aman, Sajal and Muskan, and we have to find who has obtained the highest value. In this question, we have to find who has the highest aggregate marks. For candidates are given Ayush, Aman, Sajal and Muskan. So it's a simple calculation, arithmetic addition, so I will not be doing this. So the value obtained for Ayush would be 440, the value obtained for Aman would be 450, the value for Sajal, this is just the arithmetic summation, would be 450 and the value for Muskan would be 465. So it is clear from this data that Muskan has the highest aggregate value. So the answer would be option D, Muskan. The next question asked about who among the following has secured the highest percentage marks in physics, chemistry and mathematics. So we have to find the total marks obtained by Ayush, Aman, Rohit and Muskan in these three subjects only and not all the subjects, and we had to find the corresponding percentages and compare accordingly. Now we have to find who has the highest percentage in three subjects, the physics, chemistry and maths. For 4 candidates, that is Ayush, Aman, Rohit and Muskan. How do you find that? You take the total number or total mark obtained by these candidates in these subjects and you divide it by the total summation, the total maximum possible marks in these subjects. That is that the denominator would be 150 plus 120 plus 130. But which will be equal to 400. But since we are doing comparison, the denominator would be the same for everyone. So we will skip this part. So the values for Ayush, the total summation for Ayush would be 230 in this PCM subjects. Now for Aman, the value would be 260. Rohit's value would be 225. 225 and the value of Muskan would be 230. So the question is who has the highest percentage? So the answer would be Aman, who has the highest percentages.